Hi everyone, I'm Will Brown and welcome to the WPQuickies series, bite-sized WordPress tips and tricks in 30 minutes or less. So in this lunchtime quickie, I'm going to be talking about how you can integrate Zoom with Gravity Forms using Zapier, or Zapier, I'm not quite sure how it's meant to be pressed. So thanks very much for spending your time with me this Sydney, gloomy Sydney afternoon. Hi to everyone online, drop your name and where you're from. Sorry, that's Siri on the iPad chatting away to me. No, go away, Siri. Let's see, get rid of her. Thank you. Yeah, so hi to everyone locally. Drop your name and where you're from in the chat and I'll give you a shout out. And also thanks for all those overseas joining us. I know we've got quite a few people who join us from overseas, so thank you very much for that. And all those watching on catch up as well. So whatever platform you're on, press some buttons, ding some bells, and connect, subscribe, and put thumbs up, just so it can spread the word. Who have we got in here? We've got Dowie from On Top of IT Services saying a good afternoon from Sydney, and Jean as well from the Central Coast. And Dowie says hi to Siri as well. I must have pressed the wrong button for that one. Just a few notices. We've got a new Facebook group. So in Facebook, just search for WordPress Sydney Meetup and you'll find the group. So join that group and chat to us on there. And all these broadcasts are going live on this group as well. I always get asked about links. So I put together all the links. I curate all the links afterwards and I'll put them down below wherever you're watching the video and the discussion in the comments, as well as on the meetup page as well. So you'll get all the links and a link to the presentation afterwards as well. Okay. Next questions, yep, drop them in the comments. If you've got any questions, I'll try and circle back. Today's going to be a more interactive, a more kind of demonstration presentation. So if you've got some questions, then just pop them down in the comments and I'll try my best to answer them or point in the right direction. Hi, John, as well, from the Caves Beach. Lovely, although not very much beach weather today. So let's jump into it for today. I'm going to do this picture-in-picture. I quite like this little one here. Let's get stuck into the talk. So for today, if you're going to implement this exactly or kind of roughly implement this, then you're going to need Gravity Forms. You need either a Pro or Elite Gravity Forms license because you need the Zapier add-on for that, and that only comes with the Pro or Elite version of Gravity Forms. You're also going to need Zoom, of course, Zoom account. You can use a free Zoom account. I got a paid one, but this will work very well with the free Zoom account. And also Zapier as well. Now, you can use a free Zapier account, but it's much better if you use a paid Zapier account because that gives you multi-step zaps in it for that. So a couple of links here. I'll just drop some links in the chat so you guys can have a look for the pricing. So Black Friday is coming up at the end of this month, November the 26th. Is it Black Friday and Cyber Monday, I think it's called. Basically that kind of weekend. So usually these types of firms will give away discounts or discount codes. So you might want to wait until then and then just check to see if your Gravity Forms or Zapier or Zoom are doing any of these kind of Black Friday or Cyber Monday deals, and you can maybe get a bit of a discount on some of those pro plans. Okay, now, so what I'm going to do today, I'm going to show you how to connect Gravity Forms through Zapier to create a Zoom meeting, essentially. Now, it's just a very basic functionality. It's the concept that I'm trying to show here. And it's really just a stepping stone to create more automations within your business, because that's what I really want to showcase today. I'm kind of showcasing that more of the automation side. And I'm going to be throwing more automation webinars throughout next year, throughout 2022. So you could easily register people in an upcoming Zoom webinar. So if you've got a webinar coming up, you can have a form, Gravity form on your website, so you can get people to register. And then we just automatically add them to the webinar, and then you could pass those details up to your CRM as well. And so you can have a free form, you can have a paid form as well. You get people to pay to subscribe to your webinar and then add them on. So this is the basic functionality that I'll be showing you today. So let's jump into it. I have a demo. Sorry if I'm not looking straight at you because my screen's over this side, but I'll try and move the mic so the audio is okay. Okay, let's switch tabs. If I can find the right tab. I have a lot open. Let's see here. Okay, just checking on the screen. Yep, you guys should be able to see that, okay? So here we have, I got one of my websites. open just now, not having to use a live website at the moment. I usually use a little demonstration website, but this one needs to be access to the internet. My demonstration websites are kind of password protected because they're on wordify.com. So here we are. First thing you need to do is go into Gravity Forms and then go down to the add-ons. Scroll down to the very bottom and you'll see the Zapier add-on. Now I've installed it and activated just to kind of save a little bit of time, but you can go through that process. Once that's done, you need to come up to the settings here and go into your Zapier setting right here. Now, in order to connect Gravity Forms with Zapier, there's a little bit of a process you need to go through. There's instructions here, so you click on that, it folds down instructions and tells you exactly what to do, but I'll show you. So the first thing you need to do, you need to switch on the REST API integration with Gravity Forms. So we'll go here, and then we click on Enable. And then the next thing we need to do, we need to set up a key for Zapier to access Gravity Forms, to talk to Gravity Forms. So once that's enabled, we go down here and we add a key, and you can give it any name you like. Gravity Forms to Zapier. Now you need to give it a user to work with, so give it one of the admin users that needs to be able to access the system and be able to do things. And the permissions you really want is read write as well. Now, once you add this, you're going to come up with, you're going to find a consumer key and a secret key. Now, you need to copy these directly from this dialog box, because once this dialog box goes, you cannot get back those keys. So consumer key and then the consumer secret. And these are the secret keys that Zapier and Gravity Forms use to talk to each other to make that integration work. So I'll just store that in Notepad at the moment. And that's, oh, did I just add that? Oh, yes, I did. Good. So that's it. API keys, Gravity Forms to Zapier. It's under my username and it's got permission to read it right. And you've got some access stuff as there, but we don't need to worry about that. So there we go. We've got that done. Now we can go back to Zapier. Oh, save my changes, update that, save my changes. Okay, there we go. And then back to Zapier. I keep flipping between the two. Okay, so that's it done. We need to create a form, and then we need to create a Zap on the Zapier to do that. So let's create the form. So we go up to Forms. Now, this is just a very simple, basic form that I'm going to be showing you today. You can extend it and be as creative as you want. So I've already got one created just to kind of save a bit of time, but I'll show you what I've got here. So I've got like a name, a first name and last name, which is one of the more advanced fields. And I should set that to required. And then an email advanced form field, and then set that to required as well. And then I've got 3 extra forms. One down at the bottom is just a paragraph. It's just a discussion items that somebody might want to put if they're booking a call with you. Then we have day. Now, day is a drop down, or I've created it as a drop down. And then within here, I've just put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now, you could use a date field, for example, here, the date field here. However, if you're going to use that, then you're going to need to put in some extra code, and there's code snippets available on the web. You need to put some extra codes to block the days that you don't want people to book. So, for example, weekend, you don't want people to book Saturdays and Sundays. Maybe you do, I don't. So you need to be able to add some JavaScript code just to kind of block out those particular days that you don't want people to be able to book on you. But I've just got a simple drop down. And then for time, again, you could use a time field. What I've done here is I've just got a drop down and it's got some selected values. So here I've got the label is 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and I've got an 11 a.m. to 11:30 and a 2 p.m. to 2:30. And what I've done is normally this show values is unchecked for drop downs. I've clicked on here because I want to actually use those particular values because I'll need them when I'm integrating with Zapier. So for this 10 a.m. to 10:30 slot, I've just called it 10 o'clock. So, a numeric format. So I use 24-hour format. So that's 10:00, and then 11:00 for 11 o'clock slot, and then 14:00 for the 2 p.m. slot. And this is what I'm going to be using. That'll be pumped through into the Zap. Okay, so I've got this one. before we actually go into Zapier and create something, we actually kind of need some test information here. So I'm going to quickly, I've embedded this, let's embed this form onto a page. Select the form, the Zoom test, update that. Okay, and I'll refresh this page. So we need to create an entry just so that the information when we are testing with our Zap can come through. It's got some information to play with. Sally Sherbert will at, I'll just put my address. So which day? Choose. I'm going to do Tuesday. And the way that this is going to set up is that the Zap is intelligent enough to know to set it up like the next occurring day. So for example, this is Thursday. If I was to select Thursday, then it at 10 a.m. that'd be for the next Thursday. But you can play around with those timings depending on the complexity of your form as well. But I'm just going to choose Tuesday, and at what time? 2 p.m. Some talk about stuff. There we go, and then I'm just going to simply submit that, just so I've got an entry in the Gravity Forms database that I can then pull the data through to Zapier. Okay, so that's it done. Let's go into Zapier now. We've got all the tools, got everything in place now. So here I'm going to name my Zap. Zoom. Okay, and the first thing we want to do is we want to search for the app. So we want Gravity Forms. Here we go, Gravity Forms here. Choose an event, which is form submission. Now, if you haven't connected Gravity Forms with Zapier before, you're going to get a little dialog box that's going to come up to probably log into your Gravity Forms, or at least confirm that you want to connect the accounts to each other. And that's just a once-off. And once it's connected, then you don't have to do that ever again. But what we're doing with Gravity Forms, I've got form submission. So we're going to continue. Gravity Forms account. Yep, that one there. So this is where it would pop up a form to say, you know, I want to connect to this particular site. Oh, this account has expired. Please reconnect. So here we go. Allow Zapier to access your Gravity Forms account. So I'm going to put in the URL name, which is this is where the Gravity Form is. Was.com.au. Is it com.au? Let me just check. It is. I'll just copy it. There we go. And this is where you put in your 2 keys that we had before. So let me just get my notepad back up. So we want to put the consumer key in here and the secret key. I'll delete these keys afterwards, so don't worry about that. And yes, continue. And that's going to link our website, our Gravity Forms, to this particular Zap. And Zapier will remember that connection, and you can use it again. So let's continue. Okay, so set up a trigger. We're going to choose a particular form. So this is Zapier now talking to Gravity Forms on our website. So here's the form that we had. I don't need to choose any admin labels. That's all okay. For that, feed name, we don't need a feed name at all. So let's continue. And test your trigger. So what this is doing is it's going to have a look for the entries for that particular form. If it's got any data in there, it'll pull it in. So this is why you kind of need to do like a test entry before you come and create your Zap. So here we go. It's found a test entry. It's the one that we put in for Sally Sherbert. So we're going to continue because we're going to use some of that data. Okay, so that's our trigger set up. So when a Gravity Form, that form is submitted, then now Gravity Forms will push that data to Zapier and this particular Zap here. And this is the second part. So that bit's done. We need to do the action now. So this is what we want to set up our Zoom call for. So let's have a look for Zoom. We type in Zoom here, and here we go. An action event. Now we can create a meeting. We can create a new register for that meeting, or register for the webinar. So these are the kind of things that you can extend this functionality for. but we're going to create a meeting just for simplicity and continue. Now, again, it's going to ask which account to choose Zoom, and this is where you have to connect Zapier to your Zoom account, which I've already done previously, so I've just selected that one. But you might get a little pop-up that says Zoom wants to connect to Zapier. So here we go to set up the action. So the meeting type, we're just having just a normal meeting, not a webinar. Topic here, you can say chat with Will. Or, you could put a topic or a subject on your Grafty form and then pull that through dynamically. Because when we set these fields up, we've got access to all the data that that Grafty form has pumped through. So I'm just going to set a topic for that just now. When we come to the dates, Zapier is quite intelligent with its dates. So if you have a look here, you can put different types of fields in there. You can have you can present format the date. Oh, that's not the right one. Maybe this one here. There we go. So you can have integer fields. You can use like plus. You can do minus as well. For things like that, you can do like plus 1M, which is 1 month, plus 1H, which is 1 hour. That probably isn't the right page. But anyway, let's have a look at that. So we're going to set up the time for here. So what time? Now we want to pull through that that data that the person has selected on the Grafty forms. So we can click on show all options, and it'll show all that data from that test one. So let's have a look down. So we can see that the day is Tuesday. So we want to click that. And again, this Zoom is intelligent enough to know that it's going to be the next Tuesday on. And again, you could use a calendar to allow people to select that. But we're going to do Tuesday, and then we're going to do the time. Now see how the times come through as the value. That's why we selected the value. Otherwise, it would come through with that, 2 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. And that's not what we want. We want the actual time so we can set this. So here's going Tuesday on there, 1400. So when, and then choose the time zone. And again, this could be automated, but I'm always going to set up for Sydney because that's where I am. Now, duration in minutes, this is a required field. And this is where we can get a little bit complicated. So we can choose these. I wonder if it will cut and paste them. Yep. So we're bringing in Tuesday. We're bringing the time. And then we can do plus 30M for 30 minutes. Okay, or plus 15 or whatever. So Zapier is quite intelligent. You can say things like next Thursday or a plus 1 day or plus 1 week. So you can add some complex data in the Zapier and flexible data to get your results for that. So let's do this. Let's continue. Okay, so what this is going to send a test Zoom. A test for the actual Zoom, so we can either do the test and continue, or we can skip. Let's skip the test, and because I want to see it working for real. So that's it. That's this done. Ready to turn on your Zap. So let's do that. And who knows if this is going to work or not? Okay, so that's the Zap turned on. Don't show this again, thank you very much. I'm not going to share it to social media. So now I've got my Zoom tab open here, and it's got some of my Zoom meetings. You've got the WordPress Sydney Monthly, Christmas chat, things like that. So now I'm going to test this integration out. So let's go back to a new form and do another test. Let's see what's I say. Roger Rabbit, and I'll put in here. Which day? I'm going to do, let's just say, let's Monday at 2 p.m. and then submit. Okay, so that's that done. That should have went through the Zap. Let's just check my meetings. Oh dear, I've got the time wrong there. But here we go. So it's created that Zap. I must have got the time wrong for the end. So I'll need to fix that. But It's a live demo, things go wrong. So you see here that it's created this Zoom meeting for us, and that's exactly what we want to do. Let's have a quick look. I've got some time. Let's see if we can set that time up again. I thought it was plus 30 AM. It may not be. So tomorrow they got next at, oh, maybe it's at, maybe that's what I need to do. Okay, I'm going to leave that because we don't really have time to play around with that, but you can see the essential connection there, and that's what I wanted to show you, just how to integrate those two. So what's happened is we've created a form. We're then pumping the form through to Zapier, which we've got the Zap, which it listens for the form. It then pumps in the information through. And look, we can set up different types of meetings. We don't have to just do like a normal meeting. We can do like an advanced meeting as well. There's an advanced option like a custom, which we can build like just a general meeting, or we can actually build a complete meeting from scratch as well. So we can add all the data in there, like for example, topics. You can set everything up totally. But I've just done a very, very simple meeting type just for our demonstration for today. Okay, let's go back to the Prezzo. Okay, that's done. Next. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to show you that connection, show you how easy it is just to start with automation in your business. You don't have to create a Zoom call. You can, as I say, add people to a webinar. You can do lots of different integrations, but it's really, really easy to get that up and running. So if you're looking to try and automate stuff, definitely have a look at Zapier. So what I didn't show you on that back end there was that, yes, that creates, let's see if I can find where that was. So yes, that creates the Zoom call, but then this is where the multi-step comes in. You can then create another, back to setup, you can then create another step in here, another action step. You can maybe active campaign, so add those people to active campaign. And then you can maybe email the person directly with the Zoom link, because you can send an outbound email because you've got all that data that you want. So the body, you can create all that information. So the Zoom meeting's been created. Now you've got access to all the information for the Zoom. So for example, here's the join URL. You can add the join URL in here. And then the recipient, of course, that's from the Gravity Forms. So you go to Gravity Forms data, and there we go. We can bring in the email. So having multi-step Zaps can really automate stuff. You can send out those links. And so I really would highly recommend that you use the automation, the pro version of Zoom. It's, I think, about $300 or $400 a year, but the amount of time it saves you for automation is well worth it. Jean's got a question. How reliable and stable is Zapier? What happens when actions fail? It's a great question. Zapier always works for me. If there is any issue, I think it maybe takes 3 goes, and then it will disable your Zap. But it will send you emails to say that your Zap has failed. And you can also choose to have like a weekly or a monthly overview of all the Zaps that are firing. So, you can review that every week or every month. And, if you see something missing, then you can jump into it. But in general, if something fails, then Zapier will just disable that particular Zap, and it'll send you a couple of emails letting you know that that's been disabled as well. But I don't had any problems with Zapier as far as stability wise. Once it's on, it's just on, and it keeps on going. John says, anyway, in Zapier can send an email to nominated email address to alert you about the new meeting. Yep, so that's exactly what I was just showing you. And this is where the multi-step comes in. So you've got the data that's coming in from the Gravity Forms, which has got the person's email. So you can then push it up to your CRM and put it onto a list. And then you can build an email and the email's got lots of stuff in there. As you can see, you can set up the recipients, you can set the subject, you got the body of the email. So here I've got the Zoom link from the Zoom Zap that was in there, but you can add any data in here that's coming into the Zap. So for example, if I go back into the create meeting, it's got like the start date, start time as well. So you can add that into the body of your email as well. You can add attachments as well. You can send from or reply to for that. So there's lots of stuff that you can do in this within Zapier for those multi-step ones. So really, really powerful Zapier. Once you get into it, a lot of people think that it's really difficult to get into automation and to start using Zapier. It's not really. Just that little step between connecting Gravity Forms with those keys and Zapier, and then you're kind of free to build whatever you want. And once you get into it, it's really, really powerful. Most people start off with the free version, just create, a single action, and it does things, and that's great. But once you go into multi-step, you go crazy. You can do lots and lots of things. You can do it as well for Zoom. So you can carry on this. You can create another Zap for Zoom. So when the webinar finishes, then it can automatically email out a replay link or any resources and things that you've bundled with it. So really, really, really great. I love Zapier. I don't mind paying for the full price for the pro version because it saves me a whole heap of time. So guys, that's it for today. If you've got any questions, again, you can pop them in there. I can't see any more coming through. But while you're doing that, I'll just go through some of these. I'm always looking for topics, more topics for the WP Quickies. I've kind of ran out of them. I've scheduled everything to the end of the year. It's only a few weeks away. I might do it again next year, but definitely looking for more and more topics. A little bit of a shout out to WPAustralia.org. So if you're looking to find out what meetups are in Australia, there's a big green button on the left-hand side. There's also a great big green button on the right-hand side to join Slack, and that's our online community. Where we just chat, hang out, ask questions, answer questions, and talk about all kind of things WordPress and kind of WordPress business related as well. So a lot more questions asking about kind of business in there, but it's a good chance to get to know the community members. That's a big plug today because it's actually on that website. So I'll let you read that in your own time. I'm happy to connect with you guys. I'm mostly on LinkedIn these days under Developer Will. Also on Instagram, Wilbur_AU, and on Twitter on the same handle as well. So a little shout out to the big WordPress Sydney meetup. We're still going with those. So this is the one that's on Monday, the last Monday of every month at 6 p.m. The next one is November the 9th. I'm going to be talking about 8 low-cost ways to drive traffic to your website. So you're looking for more traffic into your website. Come along and find out these 8 methods to get more visitors. But next week on WP Quickies, I'm going to be showing you how to optimize and customize your 404 pages and what sort of things you can put in there to kind of jazz it up and make it more useful for people. So thanks very much, guys. Thanks for taking the time to join me today. And I will see you guys next week for 404 page tips. Ciao.